Yo, so this is going to be a fun one today. I'm going to be talking about dumb luck and owning your mind again. We're going to be focusing on Mr. Monkey over here. And Mr. Monkey over here is the winner of taking massive risks without any care. Okay? So let's imagine Mr. Monkey as every, successful person that you've ever seen. And we have a bracket of successful people, right? Let's say we have a list of, oh god, we're gonna have to do fucking math. We have 100 successful people, 100 successful people. Okay, and the problem is set up as such because we are only looking at people who have seven figures or more. This means that, and let's say sub, I don't know, 20 or sub 25, whatever it is, right? You're going to end up with a lot of weird looking quacks, right? And you can be like, oh my god, are they smart, lucky? What is it? So the point that I'm trying to make is an alternative view compared to the whole usual learn a high skill or whatever and then get a hit. No, actually, the time when it was right to learn that super cool skill that made it really popular was when it looked really risky. So this person, this monkey over here, took a lot of risk, right? Trying weird new thing, and he look at me, so smart, and they probably didn't even know that it was gonna pop off like that. So if we are looking for very extreme cases, right, of a cohort of 100 successful people who are doing seven figures or more, less than 25, and you look back into their decision making history, a lot of the times the trend that you see ends up looking something like this, right? Especially in 2025, with all sorts of shit going on in the internet and all sorts of new hustles and shit, right? Um, the point is then what ends up happening is this, right? Oh my god. I once you see it, I don't think you can unsee it. So what happens when Mr. Monkey over here reaches the top is that they think they are, I don't know, the god of gambling or something. Right? They're like, oh my, look at me. I'm so intelligent. I am Nobel Prize winning. I don't know how to draw that. Right? Okay, Nobel Prize winner. Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize. Right? They solve world peace. Solve world peace. But the truth is that there's a lot of risk, like materially, in trying all these new things. And let's say we look at the basket of all of the different new risky things to YOLO sub 25. You are looking at weird shit like crypto before it was cool, meme coins. You're looking at maybe now it's like AI stuff, and I don't know, whatever XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Hype. The thing is that 90%, is that 90% of this will flop and will die if you're not fast, right? So, are you a genius or are you really fast, right? No one really knows. No one's figured it out. Okay. So this is the top of the graph. Now let me show you the rub. Thing is that this is Mr. Monkey's line over here, modeled likely after Monte Carlo simulation. So this is Mr. Monkey's line over here, the red line. And okay, so it looks like he just won all the time, right? But what if, Mr. Monkey over here, is this red? Okay. Mr. Monkey over here had a few losses. He is not coming out from here, man. He is not getting out from here, especially if you're like dog shit. You got no money left, right? So maybe one out of 10 Mr. Monkeys who did all of these things managed to become a Mr. Monkey over here, but everyone else is dead, you know? And let's say we run a imaginary simulation of all the Mr. Monkeys in the world. Most of them are broke, right? So the question is, what the hell are we doing listening to Mr. Monkey here, even though it is like the effect of them just making a good decision early on and them being able to get smart and compound it afterwards. Like that's something you have to think about, right? Because okay, what I'm trying to say is, when you go online, you look at all your friends, and then you're like, oh my god, look at them, so cool, right? But the thing is that for every one very very decent person who took a big bet, there are like 90 people who die, right? And the entire, you know, fucking guru complex will just confidently brush that aside and say that's the cost of doing business, right? So if that's the cost of doing business, then plan for it, fucktard, right? Don't plan to be able to take 10 shots and not die, okay? So let's say we're able to do that. We actually get that idea in our brains. Then what happens is that we treat Mr. Monkey a little bit less seriously, you know? We think about it as, okay, there were a few things that popped off, but their decision making was not exactly the most optimal. It's just that if you do get a lot of very aggressive players playing the same game or playing this very high risk, high reward game, you are going to have some super outrageously well to do individuals. It's normal, right? So the question is, why are we putting Mr. Monkey here in like a fucking, I don't know, let me do it for you. I'll draw it out for you, right? Let's put Mr. Monkey, and we got the velvet robes here, and da 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 da. He's on the stage, wee, and he is the universal champion of the world. Oh my god! Right, it's a very badly drawn stage. Okay, so let's do maybe some brown. We have brown. Yeah, he's on the stage. Woo! Oh my god! Wow, so cool. Number one. Yeah, like, and okay, now we all think that Mr. Monkey over here is number one, even though he was just playing into this, right? Would you do all of this? Maybe, maybe not, right? So that's the question, okay? And yeah, like, okay, once you get this, I guess, mental picture in your head, I think it's very useful, right, as a tool. Because I used to suffer from the tyranny of Mr. Monkey, thinking that I was like either a genius, an idiot half the time, and I just didn't know the effect of taking high risk bets and the natural swings of your actions. So I didn't have enough like fucking perspective to know what the hell was going on. And especially if you're following Mr. Monkey, if you don't stay in the game long enough, you might not have that one thing that pops off. It literally, the payoffs look like a fucking lottery. So just be mindful of that as you play Mr. Monkey type games, right? Just go in knowing that you're playing musical chairs and go in as fast as possible and get out as fast as possible, right? I'm not here to romanticize it for you. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about, right? Let's see what else I want to talk about. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so dumb luck compounds, right? Because if Mr. Monkey over here just keeps YOLOing and he has the cash to YOLO, then he'll be fine, right? And as long as his bets aren't going to completely wipe out his bankroll by like 90%, it's fine. But, you know, just know that sometimes when people are selling you things, there is this Mr. Monkey dynamic that's going on, where some guy wants to sell to Mr. Monkey because Mr. Monkey thinks that in this very shiny object syndrome way, and then and then all the marketing is trying to sell to this guy, and then you just end up in like a slushy of all sorts of weird content that's supposed to be selling to him but is absolutely materially useless to you. So just learning to filter out the difference, useful for you, right? Helps you with your decision making. um Okay, next point. Um, yeah, so just have some perspective in terms of the effect of luck, you know, and being able to see what we're filtering for, and then the results that it leads you to, because Mr. Monkey could have blown out, there are many, many dead Mr. Monkeys in the graveyard over here, you know, they're all here, they're all, let me put him upside down so it's clearer, for every good Mr. Monkey here, we probably have nine over here, right? And, oop, let's do that. Oop. Yeah, we probably have a lot of them. Let's, yeah. Oh wow, so many. It's the Mr. Monkey graveyard. So yeah, just be mindful, right? Don't tilt and like lose your shit because you see one of these persons out there, and learn to audit the decision making that got them there. I think that that's going to be very useful for you, especially whatever it is that you do, right? Yeah. That's that. Oh yeah, another insidious trick of Mr. Monkey is that, yeah, bro, I worked hard, pity me. Ooh. I'm sorry. Uh, but yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, sure, you did put in a bit of hard work, but at the same time, you know, this, right? So just be mindful. Make sure your math checks out before you YOLO into stuff like this. So that's just something that I want to put out there, and it helps me, right, personally, and I'm sharing this so that I can talk to more smart people, and that just makes me happy. So yeah, okay, cool. Now we're done with Mr. Monkey. Okay, next point is that Mr. Monkey can lie to you. Why? It's just like how I bullshitted you at the start, right? Oh my god, look at me, so smart. I didn't tell you about all these Mr. Monkeys what did. And it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, cool. We put them on the pedestal. So what's going on, right? So the thing that is least likely to lie to you, even though it still can, is your own P&L, right? If you can look at your own P&L and be able to track the decisions that you make that have impacts on your P&L and your profit and loss, and maybe if you want to get fancy, the change in your monthly cash flow, even better, right? But just being able to track your P&L personally from the decisions that you make to the material impact that it has on your bank account, you are 10 years ahead of the fucking 99% of the population. Ask anyone if they actually know what the hell their decisions do and what is the value of them. They'll be like, bro, like that lor? Or like that lor? Okay lor? Okay, bro? Sure, bro. So, yeah, and that's why, Mr. Monkey here, we put him on a pedestal. Right? Okay. I'm having too much fun with this. Anyways, yeah, and another thing, people don't tell this to you, I think, um, is most of the time people want to see you fail. It's normal. It's cool. Just look at a Reddit board. I have friends who send me that stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. I would not go close to it with a 10-foot pole. But, if you ever need to have some perspective, you can do that. Or if you want to melt your brain, doom scroll for a bit, imagine that you're in a negative state and start seeing what the algorithm feeds you, right? You will be sucked into a world of pain, my friend. And yeah, as you are starting to track your decisions between Mr. Monkey and his dead friends, you will realize that they sometimes will kind of start laughing at you, which is very strange because you just audited the decision making that they don't. And then you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? Right? Yeah. So even prospects, people that you work with, they will laugh at you. It's normal, it's part of the game. Um, yeah, just laugh back, I guess, and survive. I don't know. I don't have a good answer to it. I've given up trying to be moral. I've been, yeah. So that's that. And yeah, so why are you even listening to these monkeys? Just look at your own P&L. That's the best source of truth. That is the hardest to obfuscate, right? The hardest to tamper with. Okay. So if you do have people that support you, then treasure them, right? They're hard to come by. And don't take it for granted. Yeah. And it's not easy. Mr. Monkey and Mr. Monkey's friends, they all are the same, right? They all come from the same background of YOLOing into things. So they will just tell you, yeah, it's part of the process, number one. And then sometimes, you all the Mr. Monkeys go together and then they do all sorts of weird monkey business. But that's okay. Right? It's not my problem. My problem is to not get involved with their problems. So yeah. Last point is I touched on it lightly just now, is uh, Mr. Monkey does not move the market, right? Mr. Monkey's opinions, generally speaking, will not move the market in such a degree that you are able to I don't know, make a decent trade off of them. Okay, so I want you to think about how the market works in this way. Okay, so let's say we have a wave. We got a nice little wave. Woo! I don't know, wave goes like that. Yeah, surfer guy. It's a, I don't know, it's like a fucking thing like that. So all that's happening is this, okay? Mr. Monkey's virality depends on which stage of the wave that he is at. He does not cause the wave, he is just a part of it, right? So it is not the be all end all. Every wave comes and goes, and then so does Mr. Monkey's popularity, right? Unless he catches a new wave. Ooh. Right? But the trick is not to confuse the monkey with the material wave. Because if you go onto this thing, this force, which is, usually bigger than a lot of people, and it's caused by all sorts of like factors coming together, and you actually do the hard work, understanding the physics behind this wave over here, you don't have to listen to this person over here, right? And it's hard work. You got to study, you got to learn, you got to understand water physics. I don't know, whatever it is, right? If you don't want to do that, then listen to Mr. Monkey by all means. But what I'm trying to tell you is this. What am I trying to tell you? Yeah, what I'm trying to tell you that Mr. Monkey is not the wave. Okay? Just don't confuse the two. Um, yeah. So the moment that I guess I took enough time to stop gaslighting myself or to ungaslight myself, then I started to see all these things and I got a little bit more peace of mind to do whatever I wanted to do. And I hope that you can get that too, right? I know I make a lot of jokes. I know I'm all hee hee ha ha funny. Uh, and that's just because I used to not make jokes and I insult people quite a lot. So I've learned my lesson, right? And I hope that, if you take away anything from this, you get a little bit of peace, you get a little bit of perspective, and you spend time with the things that take care of you, and you embrace the warm, gentle glow of your P&L or its punishing uh, caning of your backside when it doesn't turn in your favor and you just learn the lesson from the market, right? Everything else just immaterial. So yeah, that's all for this video. Hope it's useful to you, and have a good week ahead. Cheers. Bye bye.